Right, guys, we should be back, hopefully without some technical issues. Um, if the chat can let us know if they can hear Spritzy, that would be extremely helpful. Spritzy, are you there?
Yeah, I suppose I've got to talk first, haven't I?
Yeah.
Very good evening. Sorry about that, guys. Got a problems with PC tonight. Looks like we've got a problem in the lobby as well. So, but the good news is that Taz is working. So
Well, at least we've got something working now.
you can't have it always, can you? So yeah, really sorry about that,
I
guys. If
think
you
there
can
must
let
have
us,
been possibly a sandstorm in Bahrain earlier that has messed with our comms
yeah,
booth a little bit.
probably caused by the championship finishing close racing. So yeah, I'm gonna log into YouTube at the same time. I've never done this before without having the chat up in a separate window. So oh, there we go. I've lost the Taz. Here we go. But yeah, so if you can let us know if you can hear me, that'd be great. And Jones was going to be your main man tonight.
Yeah, and that's never really the words you want to hear coming out of someone's mouth, but there we go.
Of
Um,
course.
we're just following Jetfish at the moment on a flying lap, see what he can do. As he's coming up to a bit of traffic ahead, that looks to be his teammate, so he's getting a bit of a tow here. So that's some good teamwork with Al. He'll get dragged up to the line here. Where will he go? And up to fifth, 28.8. So we've got now 8 drivers, sorry, my mistake, within on the 28s. It's all getting quite tightly packed up there, so they're going to have a bit of a shootout to decide that top 5. Colin looks to be clear, but he's only 2 tenths clear now of Brent in first. So we'll see how that plays out, see if he can find another 2 tenths, but likelihood is Colin will find a bit of time himself.
So simple in the chat saying that you can now hear me. Thank you ever so much. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So first question, rotations asking, and it's also been asked in the lobby, is that it does look like we've got a little bit of a lobby glitch where Colin has set the lobby correctly as per normal on realistic time, but the lobby has decided that this quali session is going to start in the daylight. So the guys in the Discord are actually saying that they're complaining about sunlight. You can hardly see anything because I think James is now on without that you can see. And we've got Glassy in the chat saying she's getting drowned out by the gate. So and we've also got Colin in the Discord saying that we are going to restart the lobby after quali. So I'll keep quiet. Jones, you can take over, and then we'll restart after the lobby, and you can set my volume a bit higher. What a nightmare! What an absolute nightmare! Are you even there, Jones?
Yeah, I'm still here. Just I'm trying to turn your volume up if that's even worked. Quite a lot of technical issues here.
Well,
I will
I'll
try
tell
and
you
show
what.
you some laps, but Backer seems to be 2 tenths up.
I'll tell you what, Jones. We're nailing this tonight.
Yeah, it's a shame no one heard your, as I said earlier, your championship standings. It was absolutely fantastic, very informative. If you had heard it, we would have seen an award coming, maybe a trophy for that.
Well, as long as it's an evening with Natalie Pinkham, that'll be all right.
Exactly. As we see Backer, he puts himself up to second and only less than a tenth off Colin there. So it looks like quite a few of the guys tonight have got some really good pace around here. Have we got any predictions from you, Spritzy, for how you see this race going?
Well, I think what's really throwing us, or what's throwing me at the moment, is that I think a lot of these guys will have done their setups and tyre pressures for evening, in Bahrain, and when
Yeah.
it goes to daylight, the temperature is massively different. So I can only assume that this is going to almost shake up the grid a little bit. I know it's the same for everybody, and I understand that, but I think the cars will feel different, the tyres are going to feel different. So, in the middle of the day in Bahrain, it's definitely different to kind of the end of the day. So yeah, and I'm looking at these times. So far, I think the times from last night in Championship were equally as competitive. So yeah, I mean, predictions wise, I'm obviously going to go for Colin because that's a kicker who's got some points to make up. But after that, who knows? I think it's anybody's race, which makes it even more exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's looking really tight in that. Well, down to eight. So we'll really see what's going on there, and how I'm hoping to see a lot of battling because I know in our race yesterday it was we got very spaced out very quickly. Who's doing comms from the garage? Says Phil. It could be either of us at this point. We've had that many technical issues. I think it's been quite a bad sandstorm in Bahrain today, so we're really struggling with our signal. We'll try and sort everything out before the race to make sure you can hear.
I know why that is. We'll try and get that sorted.
As Colin rounds the final corner, can he improve on his time? He's got Brent not far behind him on track, who'll also been trying to improve. Banter Brandon goes second. Colin improves by a tenth. We'll see if is it Brent here? He's coming round. No, he's down on his time. So it's going to be Colin from Brandon, from Backer, and then Brent, all within about 2.5 tenths of each other. So this could be quite feisty off the start.
As normal.
Yeah. It could be quite interesting. And if we got Glassy, no, he looks like he's invalidated that there. Jewel Warrior, he's coming up to the line, he's going to improve. How far can he improve? Up to 11, 129, and by 2 thousandths to Faisal, so they're really tightly matched as well with Giraffe. And I think that's all the laps. Glassy's coming into the pit, so this will be the end of quali here.
So I've just changed my microphone, so if Phil could let us know if that's a bit clearer. Really, really, really sorry about this. We don't normally have these technical difficulties all coming in one go. So yeah, if you could just let us know in the chat if that's a bit better, and then me and James will try and get it a bit sharper for the race. We are going to restart the lobby, so we will probably go offline maybe and then come back on. We'll think about it.
Yeah. Still saying you are being drowned out by the game volume. Is that for both of us randomness? Just whilst we're trying to get this sorted out, or is it just Spritzy?
So I think what you got to do, James, is you got to put my volume in the party chat up, and then you got to turn the game volume down to 5, the master volume down to 5.
Right, let's have a look at this then. So what do you mean by turning the game chat down to 5 there?
So if you go into the game, into settings, and then audio, you've got master
What, in the
volume.
party?
Yeah, you might want to stop streaming as well, by the way.
Yeah. It's, it's a
We'll
real...
restart again. We'll restart again in a minute.
And we are back, hopefully with a lot less technical issues. I'm sure you'll let us know in the comments. And we'll be coming into the race now. Grid positions as they were in qualified, if you can remember them. It was Colin from Brandon from Baku in the top three, and I think Brent down in fourth. I can't believe I've remembered that myself. So just trying to highlight anything I can. And we'll have a word from Spritzy, see if his voice is sorted now and what he thinks this race has got in store.
Yeah, thank you, James. If Shack Attack, if you're in the chat and you can let us know if the audio is now restored, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Do apologise to everyone. Yes, I was just talking about my connection today, saying I've had no problems so far, but obviously since Shack raised that as an issue, it's clearly gone downhill. So I'm blaming no one else other than Shack. So thanks for that. We've adjusted the volume to do what we can. So yeah, if you could let us know, someone, that would be very much appreciated. As for the race, sorry Jones, I've got no predictions whatsoever. The SkyPad needs switching off and switching on again, so I'm going to have to go and do that. And I can't remember the grid, and it looks like that they're taking the time to get their setups ready. So you can remember far more than I can.
Yep, and I've got my beer here, so I think within 10 minutes I won't be able to make any predictions or remember anything. So that will add to the excitement more for the viewers, I guess.
Well, we've got senior division winner Phil joining us in the chat, saying it sounds much better for him. So yeah, I'm sure everything sounds good for you this week, Phil. After your win, congratulations on that. You had awesome pace. So next week we're going to be trying to hunt you down. What beer are you drinking, James? By the way, just out of interest.
I'm having a Stella at the moment, a nice Belgian beer, I think.
Nice. Because we like to get a bit of product placement in on our streams,
Yeah,
don't we?
hoping for a bit of sponsorship money.
That's right. Oh, we're on.
You'll have to let us know about the sound of the cars, because they may be extremely quiet now. So if not, Spritzy said he would definitely be doing the car noises for us.
I'll try. Brr, brr, brr.
Yeah, and that sounded like a very unhealthy engine there, to be honest.
You're not wrong there, brother. You're not wrong there.
we might need to get that looked at. You might have one of Charles Leclerc's or maybe Carlos Sainz's old engines.
I think there's more. I think it needs more than a service. Let me tell you. Right, well, there's your grid. There's your grid, folks. There's your grid. If you've been wondering.
And we'll get the tyres up to illuminate us even further. I'm forgetting that I am now TV director as well.
You are TV director as well. Colin's gone on softs. You know what this means? I think Colin is going to do soft to mediums. I saw this on senior division with Cron, who he did soft to mediums, and his tyre management was insane. Confirmed by the Taz after the race. Unbelievable tyre management. So I think Colin is definitely capable of doing the same. Backer's gone on softs as well. Jetfish on softs. Higgsy on softs. Giraffe, first driver on hards. Jewel, also on hards. And Rickard, who joined during quali, so unfortunately couldn't set a lap. We're starting at the back on hards. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Well, it's interesting because we've got a few different strategies playing out. My question is, has Colin got to the grid too early there? Because looking, you've got Rickard at the back.
Colin's been disqualified.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to start racing straight away.
Yeah.
These Alfa Romeos are not even at the final corner yet, so they're going to be sitting for a long, long time on the grid here.
Yeah, but I think the game has realised how to deal with that, and I think they retain the tyre pressures at the point of when you park the car. So hopefully that is the case, and Colin's tyres are not cooling.
Yeah.
Which would be fair, but then this is EA, so.
Yeah, God knows what will happen.
Eagle Master's not qualified well, down in 14th. Right,
No.
over to you, Jones. I'm going to stay quiet for the start of the race. So
Okay, let's go. Right, so we've got Banter Brandon. He's already having a look. I was surprised by that start on the mediums, and we've got someone off on the grass. But second phase of start went well for Colin. We've got someone else retired. That's the Alpha and Male of Dual Warrior. And a 5-second penalty for a severe collision for Faisal. So it's all kicking off. Camera angles weren't great there. I was trying to catch anything I could, but I couldn't.
full course safety car. Full
Yeah.
course safety car.
And there we go. Natalie Pinkham. Natalie Spritzy on the Sky pad there, letting us know what's going on. Bakker didn't have a great start there. Dropped down to 5th from 3rd on those softs, so he'll be disappointed with that. We'll have a little look whilst we've got a safety car at the position changes. Al up 6 places. He's looking for that Driver of the Day award pretty early on. So he's come from 13th on the grid. We've got Evil Master up 4. Nearly the curse of the commentator. You saying something, he's done the opposite after his quali.
He'll like that though. He will like that.
Yeah. And then we've got Maggot losing out 3 places and Giraffe losing out 3 places. And then
So just having a look at the TAS, Jones. I've had a quick look while you've been talking us through. Nobody has damage. So according to the TAS, nobody has damage. So no front wing damage, no rear wing damage, no diffuser. So
yeah, and I think that's because it looked like Dual Warrior got off onto the grass down the left-hand side. He found the only grass that there was on this circuit, and I think he must have dropped it into the barrier there. So possibly
Higgs is in. Higgs is in.
Yeah. So what's Higgsy doing? He's going for the soft.
Why is Higgsy coming in? He's coming off the softs. They're obviously splitting strategy. Going on to the hards. Not used his mediums. This is quite critical in this track. So if there's a mid-race safety car, Higgsy will be in a good position.
Yeah. So he's going to have to try and go. I've tried to say this is my Wi-Fi in the chat, and I've said this is my wife now. Very different things. Sounds like I'm married to my Wi-Fi. Can't get out of the contract, yeah.
So to be fair, which is probably less stressful, I've got to be honest.
Knowing with the technical issues tonight, not too sure. But we'll move on from there pretty quickly. That's me trying to type quickly to the left of me on the iPad. Right, so full course safety car. Higgsy's going to easily catch the back of the pack. He's switched from the soft to the hard, so he'll be doing something a bit different. And for Colin, if he is doing what you're saying, soft to mediums, if he gets a good restart, gets his gap, well, it just helps with that strategy even more, even less tyre management.
Yeah, totally, mate. This is probably going to take Colin to lap 11 on those, maybe even lap 12 on those softs. So I think for Colin, Jetfish, and Bakker, and also Al, this has played them right into a one-stop but soft to medium. So if they're careful now under the safety car, which presumably we're going to have until, although the group's already reformed, so yeah, maybe it will come in. So this could have been one of the shortest safety cars possible, actually.
Yeah, and I apologise for some of the camera angles here. It turns out I'm not a very good TV director, but it's just giving me very strange angles all the time.
Yeah, but what's really nice is that someone else is doing it for once, because usually I get myself really flustered with TV
trying to switch through,
yeah. It's tricky when you're trying to do 3 things at once. We can't multitask.
No, it really is an art, and as you can see from me talking about my apparent wife instead of Wi-Fi in the conversation, we're not great at multitasking in the commentary booth.
I'll tell you what we will do. While we're under this safety car, we'll have a quick look at the press room. So we've not really covered this season so far. But we do a press room for all the drivers. So the questions were, for example, question 3, 2 rounds of driving with your teammate. What's your impression so far and how do you feel? So Andrew said that Maggot is a fast driver. He keeps getting consistent points and he's happy with him. Jetfish says that he's the most hated guy on the grid, but he's doing his best to either avoid or annoy anyone. I'm not really sure whether it's avoid or annoy. We've got Banter Brandon saying that great relationship in the McLarens. Must be a team thing, Jones. Good team building, and they're really going for the constructors. And then we've got Higgsy saying Luke's not really been on our side, but Backer still have lots of pace to show. We've got Colin saying that Luke's been missing for the first 3 rounds and our season's not got going yet. Sounds a bit like a bit of a blame culture there, Colin. And then we've got Brent saying would be nice if Brian starts attending and finishing races. So there's one little snippet from the Skypad. Back to you, James.
Yeah, and I thought I'd go on board with Backer here because he tells me never to go on board in case he spins. Well, I've picked a great time to go on board with him because that likelihood is so small at the moment. But I'll go back with Colin, who is warming these tyres up like mad, waiting for that safety car to dash in. I'll have a look from Brandon and see how the safety car restart goes. And when's he going to go? That's the question. So he's still waiting and waiting. And there, he's gone. Brandon's gone with him, but Jetfish is flying off the start there. Another terrible angle. Yeah, and Jetfish gets it done cleanly. He's gone round the outside on the straight. Brandon's there, and we've got the other McLaren. Yeah, under attack. Oh, and it's contact. Yeah, 2 doesn't go into 1 there. And a great restart from Glassy. I think, was he down in 8th before that? So he's flown through.
Was that a Spice Girls song?
I mean, you might know.
Oh, no, that was oh, no, sorry, that was 2 Become 1. Sorry, mate. Oh, we've got another incident here with the other Mercedes. Backer.
Yeah, and Backer's going to get muscled out there a bit. Is it? Yeah, he has. So I don't know if he's got. Can we see any damage on that left part of the front wing for Backer, or is he just getting bogged down in the pack here?
I'll just check that for you, James, on the Skypad.
Absolutely brilliant. Natalie Spritzy at it again.
No damage. We're all clear.
Right, and we'll get back to Brandon, who is now sticking right behind Jetfish. And Brent and Glassy through the right-hander. And that's really, really brave by Glassy, and they're still fighting coming onto the straight. Glassy's had a great restart. He absolutely got those tyres, nailed on, perfect temperatures, and he's flying, trying to go around the outside. Oh, Brent's got a lot of curve, coming close, and that's going to give Al a little look at them. But he's got nowhere to go, he's boxed in. He's having a look down. He's going to have a look for the inside. And Backer's fancied a bit. He's got him in a little box here. And they get through.
He is on the inside. No. Oh, yeah, on the outside. No.
Backer's having a look. And he might have a look up the inside of both of them here. Mercedes looking around the outside, but he's got the Red Bull in front. McLaren skips it there.
Remember that Backer and Al are on them softs as well.
Yeah. Well, Backer will be hoping to get past these guys, otherwise that soft strategy may really struggle down the line. Just to mention out front, Colin has dropped Jetfish, 1.8 seconds there now. Brandon is sticking on the back of Jetfish, but I'll keep on board with this because this is where it all seems to be kicking off. There's some close gaps behind as well. Evil right behind Andrew.
We've got Andrew right behind Backer, and we've got Evil right behind Andrew.
Yeah, it's all.
Faisal right behind Evil.
Yeah, so Brent drops back from.
Great racing.
Oh, and I missed that. Brandon got through on Jetfish. Brent's dropped back from them, and this is the real big battle here. And Giraffe's not far back from either of the rest of these guys, and he's on the hard tyres, so that could be really interesting. Oh, and as McLaren gets out of shape in the final corner, and Backer should be a pretty easy move. Well, let's see about the straight line speed. He's using his ERS. McLaren gets in behind, trying to get some slipstream.
He's coming back at him there, isn't he? Yeah. He's coming back, isn't he? I mean, so far, this has been absolutely brilliant racing from all these guys. They're leaving each other loads of space. clean racing, fast, controlled. I mean, absolute. This is why the Premier Division is the Premier Division.
Yeah, exactly.
Because these guys are the fastest, and also they are the most consistent. And I think you can see that looking at them. Here,
Well,
I've been on board with Backer for the last.
And we got a yellow flag.
Yellow.
I'll just quickly look at that. And that's Pretty. He's had a spin. Try and get back on board. Yeah, I think you're completely right. I think you can forget, because obviously we look at, you know, the big points, the race winner a lot of the time is Colin, who is just supremely consistent and quick. But none of these guys are slow. They're all very, very quick drivers. And as we saw in the first race, if something doesn't go for Colin or there's a mistake, people like Brandon take advantage of that. That's how competitive it is in this division.
Well, Colin, I mean, yeah, talking about the front gap in this race, Colin's definitely not got this one sewn up, because on those softs, onto mediums, and, you know, anything can happen. Brandon is within 2 seconds, so, you know, it's still all to play for. Colin still could go soft to hards, which I don't think he will. I think he will go soft to mediums. Brandon's going to have to go. I don't think Brandon can go medium soft. I don't think, but who knows? Backer's coming up now alongside Al.
He's having a look. Oh, and Al supremely late on those brakes and very controlled. Back just gets a little bit too close. That'll compromise his exit. Glassy's dropping back a bit. Yeah, and mentioning that gap out front, I would have thought that on those softs, Colin might have put a little bit more time in Brandon, because I think in the next few laps we might see the mediums coming into their own a little bit. So that's going to be exciting. As Evil Master gets past Andrew, and he's right up on the back of Glassy now as well. There is a yellow flag in sector 1, but I don't want to get off of this fight here. And Evil, after not a very good qualifying, he's flying in the race. And we've got another spin, I think. Is that Andrew? Sorry, Spritzy, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, what you're saying about the tyre gap is absolutely spot on. So on Tuesday, sorry, I went out on, me and Cron went on the softs in seniors. I know that we're a bit slower than these guys, and Phil went on the mediums. We did manage to pull 2 seconds in the first probably 3 laps, and then Phil kept us at 2 seconds thereafter until our tyres started to go. So I think the softs are advantageous, but only for the first couple of laps. And Brandon's proving here he's only dropping a tenth a lap to Colin, and you know, he's also holding off Jetfish, who's also on the soft. So whilst they are advantageous, or Backer's going to look for another move again.
Yeah, he's having a look. He's going up the inside. Can he make it stick? He's braked later this time. He's look at it. It's such a good fight in between these guys. Al just got his nose where he needed to put it. But Backer's going to have another dose of DRS up here. He's going to be forced around the outside. Can he make it stick? You can brake quite late round here. He's got to keep it within those white lines. They're getting close. And he's made it stick. Beautiful, because there won't be, unless he gets it wrong through here, a chance through the S's, maybe into the right-hander down here. But Backer's got the grip on those soft tyres. A bit more so than now. Just to mention on Evil Master, we saw him overtake last lap. There's another yellow flag in sector 1. That seems to be maybe Ferretti again. Evil Master took 2 cars last lap, so he had a very, very good lap. Oh, and Backer's let Al straight. So I'm guessing he might have had an illegal overtake. Maybe he ran a bit far wide. I didn't see anything myself.
I don't think so.
Or maybe he just had a moment coming out the corner.
I think, yeah, that's probably more like it. Most of these guys are running no traction control, so
yeah,
in the heat of battle,
yeah,
it's I certainly wouldn't cope. I wouldn't last more than 1 lap, let alone. And Evil, yeah, you're right. Evil is closing right up, and Glassy's still in this as well. He's right on the back of Evil. So, and these guys on mediums,
yeah, and they're pitting.
Backers in.
Soft runners are all pitting by the looks of it, apart from Al. I mean, I was just looking at that because I was looking at the gap from Al to Breads, which hadn't been huge, but it's starting to pull out. So I think it is that crossover point. 8 laps, 9 laps seems to be what the softs have got in it. So if these guys can look after their mediums, because even with that safety car, I thought they might be able to go a lap or 2 longer there, Spritzy.
I thought they were going to go, if I'm honest, I thought Colin was going to go soft to medium, especially knowing his tyre wear. And Yeah, I mean they've gone to the hards. They've gone real early. So luckily they've not come out in traffic, which happened to a certain Aston Martin driver on
Yeah,
Tuesday night.
yeah, I've
But
seen that today. Yeah. Uh,
yeah, that was tough. But no, I mean they're in clear air. So, but what I have seen, I mean these hards are really tricky to get. It's at least a lap before you can get up to full pace. So
yeah, I
I
wasn't on
guess
them myself yesterday, but I know Westy, he was saying it was a bit of a struggle to get those tyres into the right window. But I mean, if Brandon can get some laps, Colin, you'd imagine would, but you can see he's dropped back a second off Higgsy just by having the colder tyres. If he closes in on Higgsy, Higgsy's on the same tyres, so he's not going to be pitting for a while. So he will encounter traffic.
Yeah, Higgsy's done. Higgsy's to the end of the race. So it depends how hard Higgsy battles. But Colin is currently, if I look at gap to leader, Colin is currently 24 seconds behind Brandon. I think the pit stop time here is about 22 seconds.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Brandon would get the overcut.
Yeah.
However, what it doesn't take into account is those first laps, maybe 1 or 2 laps on the hards, which are probably at least a second a lap, maybe even more slower. So
Yeah, absolutely.
this is going to be awesome to see how this plays out.
Well, I think, yeah, Brandon, I mean, he's dropping Brent behind by close to a second a lap. He's flying at the moment. He really needs to just really push on those tyres, qualifying laps to keep that gap growing to Colin, because Colin will, looking in front of him, he will get traffic at some point. And same with Jetfish, Alan Brandon, who are also on those strategies, because they are, I mean, they're a bit further behind, but for the podium positions, looking at Brent and Evil Master, that's going to play out as well.
Yeah, sorry, Jetfish Alan Backer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just McLaren crazy, you are. Yeah, Brandon's out of fun. Oh, we've got yellow in sector 3. It's a... Is it a Alpine or a Williams?
I think it's
Andrew.
Yeah, so he's right in front of
Alpine.
Colin now, and he's let Colin go, so that's another position for Colin, who's now within 23.7 of the lead. So he's now taking time out of Brandon.
Yeah, but you wonder how much. It depends on the tyre pressures and also the setup that these guys are running, because the tyre wear will depend on that. And if Brandon is running a tyre friendly setup, maybe his hards will give him a bit of an edge if him and Colin are together. I think Colin's now into, as you say, 23 seconds. I would say we're getting to that cut-off point where Brandon probably does need to pit about now.
Yeah. And just watching, I was seeing in the corner where the stand-ins are, Jetfish and Backer Alan Backer just trading positions. Backer's through now again. As we saw Glassy overtake Faisal, it's happening. I'm trying to show you guys on the chat as much as I can, but it's happening all through the field at the moment. As Faisal's back through on Glassy, and Glassy's back through on him. We'll get back on board with this. Faisal going around the outside. Glassy, yeah, but he's going to have the run here. He used a bit of ERS. He had a good second phase out of there, but Faisal looks to have the straight line speed. Brakes late, bit off track there. But he's not going to have the DRS. But that means Faisal's going to have the DRS down to turn 3, is it? Turn 4.
Turn 4.
Yeah, that's the problem why I was so bad last night. I didn't even know how many turns there were. What a big moment for Faisal. I know we've seen those mediums start to have their moments. Maybe these tyres are going off a bit quicker than we thought. Or maybe it was just a bit trigger happy on the throttle. But Giraffe's on the back of this now.
Could be both. I mean, it depends on setup. Setup changes it massively. Setup and tyre pressures changes it massively.
And I think it's even larger on this game, isn't it? Especially with the tyre pressures. And I mean, definitely. With the downforce, it used to be, you had 12 settings of it. Now it's up to 50 or something. So it's a lot more nuanced, the setup of the car. something I haven't got right this season. How have you found it so far?
Well, difficult. I'm not great at one lap pace, but I aim for a race setup that stops me spinning, because one spin and then it doesn't really matter, does it? One spin and you're done. So I go for all out control and stability every time. But it does put you under pressure, because then those first few laps you're just slower than everybody else. So but
Yeah, and I think
no, it's so much more sensitive, this game. And I think that's a good thing. Oh, as Brent comes in, Evil Master comes in.
yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Brandon's staying out.
So we've got to see what Backer and Jetfish can do, see if they can get themselves past. Yeah, I think you're right. And the cars feel heavier. It's very difficult, and you have to think about that race setup and sometimes sacrifice the quali. Just talking about gaps, Colin, who was 7.5 seconds behind Higgsy about 3-4 laps ago, is now within 2 seconds of him. So he's flying on these hards. He's got them in the window.
He is, but he's still 23 seconds behind Brandon. So gap to leader, 23 seconds.
Oh, and Brent's been overtaken by Jetfish. Sorry, I just caught that on camera. Sorry to interrupt. I'll come back to you. Brent looked like he was really struggling coming out of the pits on those tyres. Cold hards.
He will do. He will do. Yeah, they're a nightmare.
And that's put Evil Master on the back of Brent as well. He had a gap before. Sorry, what were you saying before that, Spritzy?
I was saying Colin is still 23 seconds behind Brandon. So Brandon's doing awesome to maintain that gap. But the question is, what will it cost him when he does go onto the hards?
Yeah, that's a big thing. And because he's using a medium, he's either got to, obviously he's got to use. Oh, has Backer had a spin? Backer's dropped to place there. It was a yellow flag, I don't know, but he didn't drop too much. But yeah, I think with Brandon, obviously he's used the mediums, so he's either got to go to hards or softs. That's the way the rules work. If I were him, I want his teammate speeding in the pit lane. Yeah, he won't be able to serve that in the pit lane because he's only just got it. I'd be trying to stretch that out to softs to get any advantage you can over Colin. Think, okay, maybe I have to take the pain of ending up further behind, but he'll be on old hards and I'll be on fresh softs for the last 7-8 laps.
Which will be okay if he can maintain a 23-second gap for another 5 laps on those mediums. Let's have a look at his tyre wear. So Brandon's tyre wear, according to the TAS, is 51% on the front and 53% on the rear. So if he could keep it going for another 5, I would say maybe 5 or 6 laps, I would agree coming to the softs would be an option, but I don't think it is, because those softs, those mediums, that he's on now, I just can't see that he's going to take them as long as he needs to.
No, it's going to be very difficult. And as in, we just saw Glassy get passed by 3 cars on those cold hards, which shows you that warm-up issue.
But what could happen is there could be a safety car or a VSC, and if Brandon does pit under the VSC or a safety car, the pit stop time is so much more reduced. So anything can happen. While he's got tyre wear left, I think he'll do another 3 laps. I think he'll be in on lap sort of 17 or 18. That's my view, but I might be absolutely way off.
Yeah, I think he's got to try and take it as long as he can. We've got Colin, who's just got past Higgsy. I was going to try and catch that, but there was a big fight between Evil Master Al and Backer that wanted to get on board with. And you could see Glassy's dropped 3 seconds to him on his outlap on those hards, which shows you that warm-up issue. And Evil Master's up the inside.
It is horrendous. Oh!
And they make a bit of contact. And
bit of a love tap going on there.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got Backer having a look now. He's going to be a bit too far back this time, but
he feels a bit left out. He wants to get goal.
He'll be hoping these guys really cost each other time. Now we've got Colin. Is that about 22? He's about 20. Still 23 seconds. So Brandon's really doing well with his time. Glassy's starting to close up again. He's took two free attempts out of these guys, but they are fighting. it's tough to keep track because there's so many different things playing out at the moment, and everyone's a little bit out of position because of the different strategy.
I'll tell you who is doing well, considering he pitted so early, is Higgsy. He's doing really well. He's on 13 lap old odds, and he's got into the groove. He's following Colin and Giraffe, and he's just getting his head down, and this could end up turning out to be... Colin's light is flashing. Colin has got no ERS.
Yeah, he's at just 6%.
Yeah, so he's got past.
But he won't be able to defend if...
Brandon's got 40% left. Oh, that was close as Brandon comes up to lap 20. God dear, oh dear, that was close. Yeah, back to 23 seconds, and Colin's now going to try building up his... Presumably building up his ERS.
He's got his clear air now. But by the time... I'm just thinking, if Brandon can get that to lap 20, lap 21, his soft might be going off towards the end. But Colin will then be on 14, 15 lap old hards. Obviously they've got the durability, but the pace differential should be in favour of Brandon at that point.
Yeah, I think Brandon... Well, first of all, we all know that Brandon's listening because he tells us he's listening with one of his AirPods. So if you're going down the straight, Brandon, give us a bit of a wiggle to let us know that you are listening in one of your AirPods. Oh, he's pitting. He's pitting. There you go. Decision made. Decision made. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is the race to the lead. How excited, Jones! How excited! As Colin comes down the straight, Brandon's gone. Where's he going to come out?
And
Brandon is coming out right behind. I think he'll be okay with that. I think he'll be okay with that.
Oh, contact! Contact!
What?
Have we got any? Can we see any damage on Tassa? And I tell you who's right there, Higgsy. If he is going to the end, if he can manage it.
No damage. No damage. Confirm. No damage.
Okay, that was I thought that might have been ceded there to Colin, and he'd come back at him, but it's now Higgsy's right on the back of the McLaren. Sorry,
when I say no damage, I think the Taz has gone corrupt as well.
Yeah, I think he seems to be struggling, but that could also be the cold hard. Let's not forget what's been happening to everyone else. Yeah, I apologise to Evil Master. I'd been on mute when I watched that. He had spun, which allowed Glassy, Backer, and Giraffe through. Giraffe on the mediums to the end now, so that could be interesting. He's going to have a bit more pace over the guys on the hards, so that is going to be another thing playing out. We've got Glassy with his 5-second penalty, obviously, which brings people back into play, and we've got Brandon really under pressure from Higgsy here. And
yeah, well, I think Brandon is going to tow Higgsy along a bit here because he's had that first lap, which is like the warm-up lap or just finishing the first lap. Second lap, he'll be finding his feet, and Higgsy's got DRS. I think by the time that all of this plays out, Higgsy thinks, yeah, I'm in here, like 16 lap old horse, and they don't go off very much at all from what I've seen. So Higgsy could have actually towed himself right into a podium here.
Yeah, and it's definitely working out well for him at the moment. As I think Brandon's got those hards fired up a bit. Colin, very important at that, put 2.5 seconds into him, which is a bona fide 2.5 seconds as we saw them making contact in the first corner. So that's
that'll go to the steward. That'll go to the stewards.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see what had happened there, but having known what had happened to Brent a few laps prior to that coming out on the hards, he went in very deep to that corner as well, I think, expecting there to be a bit more grip than there actually was. So it's probably something similar to that. But he's got 8 lap advantage. We've got a yellow flag for, I think that is that Ricard. He's gone off in sector 1, down in 14th.
Yeah, looks to be Alfa Romeo, yeah.
But there's points down to 15th, so you've just got to bring that car home for him and Fretti at the moment. I think he's just moving quite slowly, that's why the yellow flag's maintained. We've got Backer, and he's been fighting Al all race. We've got Glassy catching these guys now on 4 and 5 lap respectively for extra tyres. And Brent dropping these guys a bit, 4 seconds in front of Al now. I think Bakker would have been hoping for a bit more. He's probably got... Higgsy might have some issues towards the end of the race, but I think he would have been hoping for a top 5 here, Mr. Bakker.
He's going for it. Bakker's going by. Skypad to Jones. Bakker is going by.
And he's got that done, but he's going to be fought back on DRS, and the Mercedes going around the outside again. And he's got the inside. This has been literally where they've been doing all this final race, and Bakker's gone. It looks like a little bit of contact there. He's got to be careful coming back on. He's been careful, but that's a real shame for Bakker. He looked like he just got a little tap, but they've been getting close there all race. We'll go back on board and see if Glassy is going to be the next to attack Al. But no, it's a real shame for Bakker there.
That hurts. That hurts.
I know he's had his issues so far this season, been unlucky. And they've been battling greatly. It was a shame to see them separated. I was quite happy to watch them for the rest of the race.
Yeah, now, I might be wrong in saying this, but I do think that watching the onboard there, Bakker was far too respectful. He'd got a massive run into turn 1, and if that was me, be it right or wrong, I would have just probably released the brake a tiny bit earlier and made sure that I was into turn 1 correct, and then turn 2 was almost like not a chance.
Yeah, I think
Bakker's like massively respectful of every other driver, and maybe he could have been a little bit more defensive there, because he got the job done, as one wing would say. He got the job done. But yeah, I think.
But a bit more like the McLaren's done here, running up. But the Mercedes is so good at the traction off that corner. I think you're right. I think he could have braked a little bit later. We know that Al's been late on the brakes in that corner every single time. That you could brake, not saying move across his line, but
move across.
He would have to adjust his line as you are, going to go a little bit deeper into the corner. And therefore you set yourself up for that next corner. I think that's the issue though, isn't it? It's you want it in the heat of the moment, you're trying to get the overtake done, and it's trying to give the respect. It can be very difficult to judge because it can come down to literal centimetres. But I think you're right, he could have been, especially once he got the inside line, he could have been a bit more aggressive, taking advantage of that.
Yellow in sector 2. Looks like it's the House of Evil Master, so he'll be disappointed with that. Yeah, I think Bakker will watch this back, and probably, this is obviously like subliminal coaching here, but this he will watch this back and think, yeah, I need to be a bit tougher, because there's one thing for sure, Alan Jetfish are two of the toughest drivers in the Premier Division. As Glassy is right, let's go on board with Glassy as he comes past, and he's got the job done well early. So what's Al gonna do? He has to concede.
Yeah, but I think you're right for sure. You have to be this is the thing with league racing. You've got to get the elbows out, and you've got to be respectful. And sometimes I know it myself. Sometimes I lock up my brakes and I've been too aggressive, and then sometimes you're just too respectful when you think coming out the corner, I really could have had that done, and I've elongated the battle for longer.
Probably what makes it worse for Bakker and Colin is that being chief steward, they have to set an example. So, maybe sometimes they're a little bit too clean to what they would normally be, but nevertheless, that's what we want in RPM. We would prefer clean rather than over aggressive. However, I think there are times and a place when firm driving doesn't need to be dirty driving.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, at the end of the day, Bakker will be disappointed with that, and Al, fair play to him. He's defended his role, done a good job.
Stood his ground. Yeah.
And let's be clear, Al did absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever.
No, it was a racing incident in my mind, completely. They've just come together. That's the way the corner goes. But
Al's got a run on glass in it.
I tell you what, though, Al has had his hands very, very busy this race. He's got someone right behind him in Giraffe, as has been the case with Bakker for most of the race. He's got Glassy in front of him. He hasn't really had a moment to go and put himself a clean lap in. It's just been constant battles.
And look at the other Aston Martin in third. He's got 11 seconds.
Yeah, and he has got
to Jetfish.
He's only lost 2 seconds.
He's got to get these tyres over 7 laps.
I'm really surprised he's managed to maintain that gap, because it was at 13 seconds, I think, 4 laps ago. So he's losing about half a second a lap to Jetfish. But coming towards the end of the race, that's enough. But how big is that drop off going to be? Luckily for him, Jetfish is out of the guys behind on the older ones. He might have more of an issue if Brent gets through on those 9-lap old hards.
Well, I'm just trying to have a look at the TAS, but it says that Higgsy is no, the tyre wear's completely wrong. So forget that. The SkyPad needs to be reformatted.
Yeah, might need an update. We had Faisal having a little moment. And I think it's out of that, where you come downhill, that tight left-hander in the second sector there onto the straight. If you get on the outside curve, that will spin you. So I think that's what's been happening to a few people like Evil Master down there. And Bakker's right up onto him. And Brent sends it. Complete send. And it's absolutely beautiful. Keeps it in track limits. Jetfish will have some DRS back on him. And he's right up the back of him here. No, it looks like Brent got the DRS.
Brent got the DRS. Yeah, but Jetfish is still faster.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, let's go! And well done, guys, for keeping that. It looked, the way they were there, I was on board with Jetfish, it looked like he might be drifting towards that back wheel. How the hell they kept that clean, I don't know. Great racing from the pair of them. And now Brent goes hunting for that Aston Martin for podium.
Well, I can let you into a little secret about Brent. So, Brent was not supposed to be racing tonight, but there was some kind of threat of a reserve getting in his car and doing something in his racing seat, so he said that he would race home just to make sure that he could attend the race. So obviously paying dividends, Brent.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
A good lesson not to leave us in the lurch and always turn up for racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's Brandon sets the fastest lap. 2.2, but it's still a maintained gap. But it is, like you say, it's another point. He's ahead in the championship at this point with the 2 race wins so far, so he won't be losing too much, but that gap is maintained. Brent and Jetfish still close, but they've took a second out of Higgsy in the last sector there. This is going to come down to it.
They can take 3 seconds or 2. They can take at least 2 seconds a lap for 5 laps.
Yeah, well, they need to get on with it, but I think Higgsy will be saying, please keep battling, which is what's going to happen here.
Jetfish is going. Oh, no.
And close again. Every single time through there. And but I mean, even with this battling they're catching, can Higgsy keep those tyres going? I mean, it's 22 laps. I mean, that's already a crazy stint on the hards.
Yeah, and if Higgsy will know that. Higgsy will know that as well. So, I mean, he went into the race tonight. We were all having a chat tonight. He went into the race tonight knowing that he was aiming for... If he got top 6, he'd be happy. So, I think being in P3 with a 9-second lead, I'm hoping he won't push too much. What I think might happen is that Jetfish and Brent might actually have a little kind of...
Yeah, in turn 4 it looks like they... Yeah, I mean, it's come so close to the front left of Jetfish and Brent. It's back right, hitting so many times. You wouldn't be surprised for there just to be that extra centimetre, and that's, both of them spinning, but...
Nothing between them as well. They've both got the same in terms of... Jetfish, is he going to do?
He's coming.
He is! Oh, no, he's not.
No, he's going to wait, and he'll get the DRS here if he can get a drive. And don't forget, Jetfish is on 4-lap older hards here. He's keeping these in the window to really...
He's got the run. And DRS. Brent goes to defend, Jetfish on the inside this time.
He's going to go round the outside though. As it falls
Jetfish
round.
lets the break off, leaves him space, respectful.
Yeah,
He's
respectful.
got the inside on the
He's
right.
going to have the outside here, which gives you the
He's
inside to the
outside
left.
there, but then the inside to the left. Oh! No.
But will he have a look up the inside here? Just a bit too far back. DRS straight coming up. This battle is going to go on till the end, and Higgsy will be well happy about this.
I tell you what, though. I've got to say, this DRS straight is the most useless bit.
Yeah,
of DRS.
you can't unless you're
F1,
right on the back of them. You can't get anything done.
This is absolutely ridiculous. This little straight there. Honestly, I reckon I could run that. Never mind drive it. All right, no, I'll take that back. Oh, Brandon,
Brandon. Oh, he's down to 1.9, and I will go back on board if it closes up. I just want to see what's happening here. We got Al and Giraffe close behind Glassy as well. Glassy has that 5-second penalty though, so they both will be promoted to place as things stand. We'll get back on board with Jetfish and Brent. It's where it's all kicking off at the moment. And I think out of tonight, I think Andrew, Evil and Backer will be disappointed. It looked like we're going to have a good race, and we got contact! Jetfish and Brent, fair play to Jetfish, he didn't go and nudge the back tyre and then carry on, but there was a bit of contact there, so Brent's tyre is going to be really, really hot at the moment. Jetfish still right on the back of him.
You see who's benefited again? It's Higgsy in that third place.
Yeah,
he's not 9 seconds in 3 laps. All he's got to do is bring this home. So.
Yeah, keep it on the road, and he's just nailed the strategy there. He's tried something different. He's looked after those tyres so well, and he'll be very deserving of that podium if he gets it. But you can see every time these guys get a few clean corners, they've really closed that gap. But every time they fight, it widens it and helps Higgsy out massively.
I don't think Brandon will be too disappointed with this, because I think if he's got fastest lap and a good second place, that obviously closes that gap, doesn't it, from 35 to 40 points. So fastest lap is worth 2 points. So I mean, he's going to finish with 37 points if it all finishes as it is now.
So we only lose 3.
Colin's going to finish on 40. Colin will get 1 for pole, so 41. So, I mean, Colin's only gained 4 points on him. So,
yeah,
I think Brandon will be quite happy with that, really.
He'll definitely take that. I mean, the gap's being maintained at 1.9, but I think, like you say, I think he'll definitely take that as a... I mean, you say damage limitation, but it's literally no damage being done at all.
Just interesting, the gaps come. The question is, has Higgsy's tyres just dropped off the cliff? Because it's down to 6.8 seconds.
Yeah, and the thing is now, it's because of that little incident where Jetfish had to back off a little bit. They've actually both been able to run clean laps for the first time in a while.
Yellow in sector 1.
That's an Alpine of Maggot, I think. But yeah, they have finally been able to run those fast laps, and they're catching. But is it a little too late with all that squabbling before?
I don't know. Is it a case that these tyres just drop off the cliff like they used to say that the F1 tyres did, where when they've got... I mean, they're down to 5.8 now, so...
Yeah, and we've got Giraffe right on the back of Glassy as well here.
Which and is a bit of a put...
And they're actually catching the guys in front.
They are.
I didn't even realise that.
That 5 seconds, isn't he? Giraffe's going to go past here.
And then Glassy will be dragged along.
Good result for Giraffe, this is. He'll be pleased with that. Yeah, and who knows what could happen with Jetfish and Brent. 5.7 seconds.
And as you can see, just further along, you can now see Higgsy in a distance of them, 5.5 seconds. It's going to be so tight. Glassy's having a look here. Al's getting onto the back of this. But and Faisal's had a big spin. Keeps it out of the barriers. That should allow Backer to get through, but Backer's dropped way off the back of him. I don't know if Backer's had a moment somewhere. Back on board with the guys in front. I'll
Brent,
get back.
4.6 seconds. I'm scared. Come
Yeah.
on, Iggsy.
But look at this.
Come on.
I'm on board on TV camera with Jetfish, and you look in the background, and there's another 3 cars behind them. This is getting exciting. Brandon 1.6 seconds.
That's Colin's tyre. No, Colin's tyres won't have gone in the last lap. That must be Colin taking it easy. Colin's through. Colin is through. Brandon can see him. I think we've lost Jones in comms. He fell off his stool. He's so excited. Brandon can see Colin. Have Colin's tyres gone? Brent is... I'm not sure where we are on screen and what Jones has... What's happened with the feed.
Sorry, I am back now. I had to visit the RPM comms booth toilet.
On the last lap of the race, what's wrong with it?
On the last lap.
Brandon 1.3. Brandon 1.3. Right into the last.
We've got Jetfish. We'll get on board with this because they're 26 seconds ahead, so we'll be able to catch the full battle.
Brandon 1.2. He can see. He can smell it.
He's going to be a little bit too far. Yeah, there's not a lot of time you can make out this last corner, but he should set another fastest lap the way he's been going here.
I think Colin's done this for the stream.
Yeah, and he's even weaving. He's very happy with that. Put it in the pit wall. And now Brandon gets the extra 2 points. Higgsy, you can see he's having to be so careful through that right-hander. That should be enough gap.
If he brings this home, what a performance from Higgsy. I'm so pleased for him because they've had terrible luck so far in the first 3 rounds. Come on, Higgsy, bring this home. Yes, get it. Not that I'm biased, of course.
Higgsy did fantastic. He got his tyres through.
What a performance.
Jetfish will follow behind Brent, who will be followed by Giraffe. Glassy will have his 5-second penalty, which is unserved. So, yeah, he won't lose any further places because Faisal's behind 17 seconds.
Way behind.
Bakker will be disappointed. That spin potentially cost him a 6th or 5th place there. Andrew again, he had a spin himself. He looked like he had good pace, and Evil Master had a couple of spins. He seemed to be really, midpoint in the race, right up there for the top 5. And just a couple of spins in set 2 really cost him. And Maggot will be the last to cross the line. But everyone gets points there down to Fretty. Any thoughts, Spritzy, on what we've just seen?
Yeah, I don't agree with driver of the day being Al. I think driver of the day is Higgsy by a long way. I think Colin is back, which is good for Premier Division because everybody wants to beat Colin, and that'll do his confidence good. I know he's not a massive fan of this track. I think Brandon is just proving that he's a bit of a contender for the championship. And then as for the guys below, again, awesome, clean racing. What's really lovely to see is that they're dead respectful of each other. And yes, this might be the Premier Division, but it just shows that being fast doesn't mean being aggressive and banging into each other all the time. So, yeah, I think that's been an awesome race. Apologies for the technical issues. That's not like us. First one we've had in a while. So, and I think, Jones, you're going to be on comms for the next couple of weeks while I'm away. So I suppose in all, it's not been bad practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So expect more technical issues coming up.
Well, no, it's been a great race, mate. A great race, good coverage, and thanks to you and helping sort it out that we've managed to recover a stream. So
yeah, it was a very exciting race. It was a good battling throughout. I really enjoyed that. I mean, it was tight with Colin and Brandon at the end. It was tight with Higgsy with the guys behind. There was some great battling with Al and Bakker and Jetfish and Giraffe all the way through, and Brent as well was mixed in that. I thought it was a great race.
Good race, mate. Good race. I don't think we'll bother with driver interviews after all the technical difficulties we've had today.
Yeah, we'll let them get back to their evenings. But yeah, fantastic. Thanks for, well, it was me originally joining you. Thanks for joining me and Spritzy.
No,
Um,
thanks for joining me, and it was a pleasure to join you, mate.
absolutely. And RPM will be back from next Tuesday. It will be the senior division where you'll see Spritzy himself racing. Oh no, you won't
No,
this
I'm not
week. You
here.
won't.
I'm not here. I'm away for 2 weeks.
You'll
Yeah,
see
so
Spritzy losing gaps because I believe you're
oh,
all top of the championship at the moment.
well, yeah, allegedly. I'm gonna be. I will be watching from being away. It's a bit sad, but we've got the Japan sprint race, so it's going to be the first sprint race of the season. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see how that plays out. And seniors, I mean, the seniors absolutely love being in the seniors. The guys are all respectful. It did take us a couple of races to work out the pecking order, but yeah, really clean, really good guys. So that'll be on Tuesday, and then we've got Wednesday First Division and Championship with yourself in First Division and the guys, and then Thursday Premier League. So yeah, Japan, here we come. Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Cheers, Spritzy, for the comms tonight, and we'll
Yeah,
leave it
cheers.
there.
Have a good evening.